Okay, so super quick, I just wanted to go over the wiring for these guys. I decided to make a video on it, and so I'm going to show you. Now, I've disconnected the turn signal on this side to show you that you can run either just the turn signal or the DRL. You don't have to run both. The headlight is still going to work completely normally. The low beams are completely independent of both of those, and they run through the H4, and it's just a stock H4 plug that plugs into the stock H4 wiring harness. So real quick, let's go under the car and let's show you how the wiring setup is there. So if you come down here, you can see I pulled the rubber grommet off, and this guy, if I can get some light on it, is the stock plug for the parking light and the turn signal right here. So brown is ground, and you'll have another single wire coming out, and it's a little bit hard to tell what it is. It's a red and white wire, and a black and, come on, focus. Let me let that hang there and see if I can get this to focus. Black and green wire. It's the same on both sides. The black and green wire is your turn signal. Brown is always ground, and the red and the white is going to be your parking light. So all I made was just some quick connects and quick pigtails with two leads coming out of it. One plugs all the way back up into here, just the same exact way that this would. It's just realistic. It's honestly just an extension. And the second lead are both of these wires up here. So the yellow wire will tap into that black and green wire on our 944, and the red wire will tap into that red and white wire plug down there. The best way that you can tell is if you've got your voltmeter and you're trying to check it. Wow, this thing is just struggling to focus. If you got your voltmeter and you're trying to check it, once you get the headlight plugged in and you make your leads to each thing, to the plug down there, if you're going to use your parking light here. Again, you could use that parking light if you wanted that to be tied into the DRL. Again, I tried that and it didn't solve my issue. But anyways, you can plug that back into here, and your turn signal should flash the amber lights. If it doesn't flash the amber light, well, then you've got it plugged in backwards. If it flashes the white light, well, then you've got your DRL plugged into your turn signal. If you want to have a flashing white light, I guess you could. I'm not entirely sure that that's illegal, but or why you would want to do it that way. If you wanted to just have the amber lights be your DRLs, then you could plug that into your parking light wire as opposed to your turn signal wire. You could just leave it plugged in that way. And whenever these are up, your halos will be the amber color, that amber orange color. So you can see that it's plugged in the same exact way on this side. The wiring is a bit messy because I've been trying to figure out this whole stupid why is this flashing thing, but you can see that it's no different on this side. This is how I would normally have them connected. I have that side disconnected to show you that you can run either or, which I'll demonstrate right now here in a second. But same thing, this yellow wire runs all the way down to an extension on a pigtail. One plug goes into the parking light, and the other wire comes up here to the yellow wire. Yellow wire taps into that black and green, and this should tap into that red and white wire. And again, you can test that by seeing if they flip when you turn your turn signals on. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw my hazards on. So my hazards are on, which means that both sides should be flashing, but they're not because I disconnected the turn signal there. So you can see, even though my parking light is on, well, this isn't connected, so it's not gonna change. So if you wanted to, you could just run with the halo. You don't have to run with the switchback. You can see over here that the turn signal is connected, and it should be flashing amber, which it is. I don't know why the hell it's flashing white. That's friggin' aggravating. But you don't have to run both. You can leave whatever you want disconnected. And I mean, I don't know why you would buy these headlights if you don't want either of those features, but because there is a version without the halo. But you could do that too. So that's the wiring. That's how it's set up. It's super easy. I did all of that in anticipation of the lights coming in before they came in, and it took me about, geez, I don't know, 15 minutes to wire up both sides, make sure they were ready to go. Quick double check with a voltmeter, see what side is getting constant voltage, see what side is getting the switch voltage, and that's it. So that way when they came in, it was just literally a 10-minute install for the lights. three screws around that ring, and then that's it, the plastic trim. And that's all that there was to it. Excuse me. So let me see if I can go ahead and get you a good shot of both of them there to see how it looks. But oh God, I'm not even go as far as to do this. I'll close the hood real fast. Make sure I don't have my tools sitting there. Even though it's already dented, we don't want to dent it more than it already is. Okay. So let's go ahead and close that. And there's a good shot of just the DRLs on. So I definitely think they look cool. I'm really annoyed that I can't figure out this issue. I tried using the capacitors and that didn't work. So I'm really not sure where to go from here. The only other thing that I could think of is, I mean, I haven't seen anybody have this type of issue with their lights before, and I haven't seen anybody else do an in-depth video or video series like I'm doing with these type of lights on a 944. So maybe the wiring in our cars is just different. I don't see why it would be. It's just a dual filament bulb. But that's all I got. So there was one commenter who I know was curious about these, and I hope I answered your question that you can run just the DRLs. You don't have to run the turn signals. But if you get yours hooked up, that's how I did it, and I'd like for you to get yours connected and see if you have the same issue. If you have the same issue, then we know it's an issue with the cars. If you don't, then that obviously will indicate that something's wrong with these lights, and that will help me in turn, decide if I need to return them. So I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. If there's any information that I left out that you guys needed or wanted to see or were curious about, go ahead and let me know, and I'll try to address them. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you